G'day football fans and welcome back to episode 28 of our Sevilla Rebuild here on Dylan on the Ball. Today we are taking on Villarreal in La Liga. It has been about 6 or 7 weeks or maybe even more than that since you were last here. Plenty to catch you up on. Some great results, some less than good results, some great performances, some I don't really want to talk about too much. So before we get into it, make sure you do leave us a like down below, subscribe if you're new around here, comment what you think of the video, what you think of the series, all that sort of beautiful stuff. We do have I guess something to decide at the end of this season. Do we continue with this series? This is the end of the 5th season we'll be coming up on. I mean, this is the penultimate episode, so we'll have one more after this, the end of the season, whatever that brings, I guess. And then we need to make a decision. It's been 5 full seasons. Do we just end it at a 5-season series like we do these long-winded rebuilds or let's plays, I guess, where we play through as whoever it is that we choose for 5 years and that's what we do? Or do we continue on with Sevilla and try to continue to build what we have been building, which, I don't think it has quite hit its peak yet. I think it does have some growing yet to do, and do we want to be there for it, or do we want to do like a 5-year simulation or something like that beyond this season? Let me know in the comments down below if you have an opinion. I'd love to hear from you. Anyway, let's get cracking right into it. So as I said, about 6 or so weeks to catch you up on. I mean, the last video was at the end of January, or probably 25th or something like that, of January, something like that. It's now the 19th of March, so obviously plenty to catch you up on in terms of football results, player performances, and things like that. I guess where we get started is the results, because there's one thing that I guess I should talk about it before I then go into the happiness of the squad. And that might give you a hint as to whether it was a good result or not. If you look here at the knockout playoff round of the Champions League, unfortunately, we got knocked out by Benfica, having made the final last year, bringing Liverpool to extra time, almost getting past them. We've messed it up. We had a 0-0 draw at Benfica, and then at home against Benfica, lost 2-1. Inexplicably, we dominated the game. We had the more chances. It was just 2 counterattacks, and they've put us out. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they got knocked out the next round. Yep, they got knocked out here by Arsenal. It's now into the quarterfinal stage, which we won't be taking part of, won't be listening to, caring about, anything like that. Because screw it. We're out of it. It doesn't matter to us. The potentially worst part of that, let alone missing some goals and not reaching the latter stages as we had planned to, the worst part of that is that it's led to some players not being too happy with this. If we sort it here by position, we can see here, Dennis Simon, he's unhappy because we've failed to reach the latter stages of the Champions League. I had made a promise to him that next season we will do it, if there is a next season, I guess. If we end up, resigning at the end of the season and going 5 years into the future, I guess we just see what happens. Dennis Simon, we won't know how happy he is, I guess, because we'll be elsewhere. That, however, has led to, if we look, Nyonzu is waiting for our youth players to get better, which they are, I guess, if you look at players like Enzo, Madiela Chortu, Venancio, Acosta, Marimon Escarela, all coming through this season. You can sort of see that, I guess, they are improving the quality of the squad, and the quality of those youth players are moving the squad forward, I guess, except for the Champions League. Except for the Champions League, maybe. Other than that, we do also have a promise for Oscar to play more football just because he was a bit upset, and he probably deserves it. He's just about a club captain type of player. I don't think he actually is the captain. I think the captain... Can't actually remember who's the captain. Maybe it is Oscar. I can't remember. Anyway, we've then got players like Wagner Venancio supporting Dennis Simon. He agrees with Dennis Simon. Who else agrees with him? There was someone else. Asana Drago. He's supporting his teammate. Luis Enrique has a slight concern. He wants to play more, but he's also going to explore options at the end of his contract, which does expire at the end of next season. So I guess this summer, he's probably going to get moved on. As well, moving on in this summer will be Jorge Cuenca. He's agreed to move to Valladolid. I'm not sure if that was in the last video or if that happened since. I can't really remember, so thought I'd just cover it anyway. He's leaving on a free. I didn't want to sign him to a new contract, really. I would have preferred to get money for him, of course, but he's leaving. We'll either replace him with a big name. Our marquee signing, I guess, in the summer will either be replacing him, or we'll be bringing in someone from the youth team and I guess focusing on those who are already at the club, which I guess isn't a decent idea when you look at how good Pape Dietu has been, This fella we brought in January when Piero Hincapié buggered off to PSG. We brought in Pape Died, who I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm so sorry if I'm absolutely butchering that. But for 21 years old, spirited personality. It used to say Wonder Kid. I'm not sure why that's changed, but he's 21. He's brilliant. Good physically, good jumping reach, good positioning. Leadership's fantastic for a 21-year-old. Anticipation, bravery, and composure are great. Good tackling. Could stand to get a little bit better, I guess, in some of the technicals, but at the end of the day, he's 21 years old. He's good enough as a defender. He's very good mentally, very good physically, and we're just absolutely over the moon with how well he's been performing. An average rating of 7.24 since joining the club. 2 goals, both against Real Madrid, one in the Spanish Cup, first leg of the semi-final that we've got against them, which ended 2-2. I think we were down 2-0, came roaring back to draw 2-2 in the second half, and the second leg, I guess, is coming up soon at home, so hopefully we can get the result. Oh, maybe the first leg was, I can't remember, but the point is, he's been very, very good, especially in those big games. He's really stood up, and I've just been over the moon with what a great signing he has been. Other than him, good performers, of course, you can't go by Matthijs Tel, who is up to 49 goals this season after scoring 54 last season. He's up to 49 with, 6 or 7 weeks left in the season. I guess if we win the semi-final of the Spanish Cup, we've got 11 games left in the season. So we've got 11 games for him to equal or better that haul from last season, which the rate that he scores, or has been scoring the last 2 seasons almost now, I think he's probably odds on to beat that. The only thing about it is that Manchester United are now interested in him. They've been to a number of games to watch him, to scout him, and been plenty in the media about it, which isn't good. I've slapped a £255 million price tag on him, which he was actually happy enough with, despite in his contract, his release clause is only 184 million. So a team could offer 184, but it's so far under the asking price that I could then... No, I can't say no to it because it gets triggered automatically. That's not good, especially because I don't think I can actually offer him a contract with more wage than 400,000 that he's already on, which is ridiculous. I understand that. It just is what it is. It sucks. It sucks. It's not ideal. I'm not a fan of it. He has won a Ballon d'Or. He has scored over 100 goals in the nearing 3 seasons now, which is elite, beyond elite, obviously, because he's the Ballon d'Or winner. It's the best player in the world. He's scored 70 goals in a calendar year. Wouldn't like to lose that. If someone comes in with an offer of 184 million, I think what we'll do is try to offer as much money as we can to try and put them off. But if it doesn't happen, I don't know if it'll just happen. Like, it'll just be over, and I'll probably cry. I think that'll be the end of the series. Will be Matthijs Tel leaving if he does. Other good performers, of course, Asana Drago has been very good. He's got 5 goals, 10 assists in 36 appearances. I guess that's not his main focus. He is more of, keeping the ball moving through midfield. He's also played a little bit of the defensive midfielder where we've needed him. He's just absolutely elite. It says he's like a star player who could still improve. I think he's got improving to do for sure. He's 21 years old. He's very good technically. I'm not sure if they'll improve too much more. Same with the physicals, but the mentals definitely will. With experience, with time, they'll get better. He still looks like a child, but he will get better and better, in my opinion. I guess the one thing I should cover is through all of February, we're having so many troubles with injuries, especially like that game against Real Madrid that I mentioned just before, the 2-2 roaring back from 2-0 down. In that game, we were without Simakan, he was injured, Nyonzu was injured, Wisdamami was injured, Asana Drago was injured. So we were without, 4 very much key players for that match that we just struggled with. And I guess that does sort of speak to why we didn't get through against Benfica, but at the same time, with the players that we have, having, Matthijs Tel and players like that on the pitch at the time, we probably could have won that and probably should have done, I guess. The other bit of news, I guess, is that Callum Wendo has requested a transfer. He wants out. He isn't playing enough to his liking, and I guess that's fine. If he was performing to the same level as Matthijs Tel, he'd be playing just as much. He can't be. There's no way he could ever. No one is. He's the best player in the world. I'm not going to play someone over him. I'm not going to move Matthijs Tel to the wing when he's scoring 50 goals a season as a striker. It doesn't make any sense, does it? Other great performers this season, I guess I'm very, very much pleased with Matty Elachotti, who's wanted by Hertha Berlin. He's been fantastic. He's an average rating of 7.05, 15 goal involvements. He's improving. He's looking very, very good. He's a wonder kid. I just think he's looking so, so good for someone who's not even earning $40,000 a week. Probably should get a new contract shortly, but he's just been brilliant this season, especially of late. There was a match very, very recently. If you look at the results since you were last here, the last video being this game here against Union Berlin, we did end up having about 9 matches in February, so it was pretty hectic. But was it here against Almeria? Maybe, can't remember which one it was now, but Matty Ellachortu, if it's that game, Ellachortu like assisted the other 2 goals. Like he scored 1, assisted 2 for Tell, something like that. He's just been brilliant. He's a very, very good player, and I'm very, very happy to have him here. Can see a number of decent results here, like here against Atletico Madrid, beating them 5-0. Don't want to talk about Benfica. Draw with Valencia gave Real Madrid and Barcelona a chance to catch up. If you look at the competitions, though, we are equal with Real Madrid on points, but we do have a game in hand. That's not today's game because Real Madrid are actually also playing today, so the final, I guess, 9 games will really decide it. Our last game of the season is actually against Real Madrid as well, so the season finale, potential series finale, will be could end up being, I guess, hopefully not. Hopefully we've secured it and I don't have to worry, but could end up being a La Liga deciding tie between 2 absolutely incredibly good sides. Anyway, that's enough of a bit of a wrap up. I'll go through to the lineups shortly, but make sure you do leave us that like down below, subscribe, and let me know what you think about whether we should have another season, how many seasons, or whether we should just keep going until, I don't know, until Matty Ellachortu retires. We just have like 17 seasons here at Sevilla. I don't know. Let me know what you reckon. I'm open to it. Let me know what you reckon. I'm leaning towards this being the last season, and then we do a 5-year simulation and check how they go and whether we've really laid the foundations for Sevilla to be one of the global powerhouses of football across the next X amount of years, or whether it'll all come crumbling down as soon as I leave. Let me know what you reckon. Now, let's head to those lineups. Alright, so the lineup we're going with, it will be Dennis Simon in goals, a backline of a now fit Wisdom Amy and Simakan, alongside Dietu and Enzo Rodriguez, who has really become the number 1 left back this season. He started playing a lot more than Fran Garcia, who just hasn't had a real look in. Fran Garcia is actually also now recovering from a dislocated shoulder, was it? Yeah, dislocated shoulder. So he's been out for like 3 weeks already, and he's out for another up to 5, I think it said. So not been great, but I mean, we do also then have Wisdom Amy, who can play a bit of left back, where we used to, I guess, use Piero Hincapié. The rest of the lineup is in the holding midfield roles. It will be Fabio Moretti and Oscar. Oscar, of course, deserving more football. He's performing very well. He's asked for more football. He does deserve it. He's 29. He's just about the captain. If he isn't, I don't actually know. Why do I not know who my captain is? I should know that sort of thing. Anyway, across the attacking midfield line, it will be Rudy Bargi on the right, of course, Ellachortu on the left, Alberto Melero in behind Matthijs Tell. What more could you want? I mean, it's very much a lot of our best players in their best positions. Bench is very strong with players like Gakpo in there, Marimon, Luis Enrique, Escarella, who has been performing better of late, but, you know, he's still on his way up as a player, I guess. Nyonzu on the bench as well, still getting back to full fitness. Hoping very much that we can just put in a good performance against Villarreal away. I mean, they are coming 5th, so they are a very good side. We did also last game before this video, was against Almeria, who were actually 4th. And we were up, I think we went up 2-0. They got it back to, I don't know, we won 3-2. I can't remember. Look, maths is hard and numbers are hard. We're going to go with, go out there and impress me. Oh, I don't know. I haven't had the option, like last season and possibly even the seasons before that, we've had the option where it says something about like, oh, the media's been giving you so much praise. You go out and show that that's the truth or something. I don't know what it says, but that option hasn't been here all season, where we've actually been possibly the best we've been in a league season. Doesn't really make sense to me. Anyway, let's get underway here, away at whatever their stadium's called. I don't know what it's called. I just think of it as the Yellow Submarine. That's all I ever really think or associate it with, I guess. Their striker, Herrero, is someone that we've been linked with a number of times. He is quite good for a youth player. He is, I think they've got 2 regens in their side. Herrero and then one of the midfielders, I want to say his name was Mata, maybe? Oh, I'm not sure. Here's a chance, though. Dan Juma in the box. Can he get it across? Oh, it's going to be AR. It's going to be AR. It was Wisdom Amy on Danjuma. Is this going to be a penalty? Please don't. Please don't start that way. It's 9 minutes in. Can we just have like a relaxing start to the game? Maybe? That would be nice. Here he goes. Here's a decision from the referee. No penalty. On your Wisdom. I backed him. I always backed him. I always thought that Wisdom Amy was a good player, a good, tackler. He'd have, sorted us out. I wish I could hear, the little eye thing that pops up where you can, look at a player's stats and that. Why can't I do that with their lineup? Because I'd want to show you Mr. Herrero. Because apparently he's pretty good. I don't know. I'll hit them with an encourage. It's 21 minutes in now. We're yet to have a highlight for Sevilla. Not too much to speak about, I guess. I mean, we've had the possession. Would like to be higher up looking at the pass map, but I guess at the end of the day, look, we're coming first. We've got a game in hand on Real Madrid, which would mean that regardless of, whether they win and we lose today, we could still leapfrog them with a win in our game in hand, because we do have a goal difference that's, I think it's about 12 or so better. So I'm not too concerned about it, I guess. I would be concerned, however, if we do not actually have a highlight for us. Here is a second highlight. This is another penalty shout. What is it this time? Oscar Mingueza, the former Sevilla man. It looks like there was something between him and Pape Diedhu. It's a penalty. I didn't really see what happened. I'm guessing it was like a handball or something, but we'll see how we go. It is Talas Magno. Saved by Dennis Simon. Go on, son. He has been a rock this season, especially in penalty shootouts. The two that we won in the Super Cup against Villarreal and then against Real Madrid in the final. I think we might have actually also gone to penalties against Valencia, maybe in the Spanish Cup. Oh, I can't remember now. We do need to pick it up though. We haven't had a highlight for Sevilla this first half, which is very rare. I would really like us to do something though. Here's a probable last highlight before half-time. It is Villarreal with the ball. Asensao, I don't know how to say that. Now through to Talas Magno, over the top for Danjuma. Danjuma tackled, but doesn't get rid of it. Balde now on the right, swings it across. Oh, Alex Baena. Just wide from Baena, and we have been second best this second half. I mean, we have had the shots and the possession, but they've had all three of the highlights. It's very strange. All right, we're going to go with the pump fists. Time for everyone to dig in. We're going to keep pumping those fists and tell everyone that they can make a difference, sort of thing. Hopefully we can get everyone inspired, except for Wisdom Amy, apparently. Hit him with another fire up as well, because we need to. I mean, at this stage, we're really not doing much. Here's a highlight. Oscar swinging in a free kick. Header off the bar. I think it was Mohamed Simikan. It's now out to Enzo. He's into the box, straight at the keeper with his little cut across there. Doesn't do much. And that is the end of the highlight, unfortunately. Right, another highlight here as we play it out from the back through Diedhu. Miretti back to him. Just hoping for it to be one of those ones where we pass it around fairly, innocuously. No one really thinks anything's happening, and then it goes over the top for Matthijs Tell and he scores. That would be nice. Wisdom Amy on the right, though. We've built it up well. Cross to the far post, headed away by Balde. Now Oscar back out to Wisdom Amy. A good ball. It's an own goal. It's in. It's an own goal by Pau Torres. I mean, I feel like Livakovic could have done something about it. Like, really, he just sort of... I think he wanted the embarrassment for someone else. Maybe he's been doing, poorly of late or something, but at the end of the day, we are up 1-0, deservedly or not. I guess that's up for debate. I'll take it, though. It's 1-0 away from home against the 5th place side. I mean, what more could you want? That is absolutely brilliant. We'll hit them with a praise because I am happy that we have really taken control of the game, I guess. Just hope that we can keep this lead. We'll look to make subs shortly as well. After this highlight, I think. It is out from the back again, this time through Simikan, through to Miretti. Malero, Rooney Bargi now. Coming back towards Miretti, through to Oscar, to Matthijs Tell. Surely out wide to Enzo Rodriguez. Forward for Ellachortu. Doesn't quite get to him. And now Caio George, the former Juventus fella, maybe? Diedhu now out to Enzo. We've won it back. Oscar over the top for Ellachortu, who doesn't quite get there. And Malsa. It's a weird name. And then gets it. Hopefully we can churn this into an attack. It is Malero through for Unibaji. Goal! Get in! Rooney Bargi has been elite this season. I think that said it was his 13th goal this season. He has been so good. He's come up with so many good goals, and just moments like this where it seems like, you know, just about nothing's on. Little reverse pass in behind the defender, absolutely brilliant. And Rudy Bargi at the near post beyond Livakovic for 2-0, and in the space of, what, 8 minutes? 9 minutes? Let's say 9 minutes. We've turned it into a 2-goal lead. Amazing. All right, looking to make some subs now. We'll bring on Nyonzu for the tiring Wisdom Amy. We'll move Simakan back out to the right side of defence. Also, Cody Gakpo probably hasn't played as much as he should have of late, so we'll bring him on for Elachotu, who's yet to really get going this game. And then I think we'll bring on Venancio for Oscar, so that get just a bit more defensive solidity in that base of midfield between Venancio and Miretti. That's the theory anyway, if Venancio doesn't go and get a red card 8 minutes into his performance anyway, like he did against Barcelona in the league, which, you know, I'm still pretty bitter about, in case you cannot tell. Here's another highlight. Nyonzu playing forward to Venancio over the top for Rooney, who will not get there. Centelles gets there. Just hoping that we can not make this... I don't want to make it a contest. I want to just fire away from them. It is El Suarez, Luis Suarez, making it 1-1. We couldn't keep hold of him between Simakan and Nyonzu. Couldn't keep hold of him after he was played in behind by Alex Baena. A great pass in front of him. Nyonzu and Simakan both do well to catch up to him, make him work for it. Nyonzu didn't quite make the challenge. He should have, I guess, put a more firm challenge in there. He could have just won the ball cleanly. Yeah, I mean, I would have liked that, really. We're now 73 minutes in-ish, sort of. We'll look to make some subs. Died, who's looking tired. We've got Cuenca we can pop on, and I think we will, just because for fitness sake. And then, who do we look to bring on? Got a Drago who's just back from injury on the bench. We've also got Escarela we can bring on for Malero maybe. Let's go with... I know Rooney Bargi scored, but I'm leaning towards Rooney Bargi coming off for Luis Enrique, and we will do that. We'll go Luis Enrique on at winger, and then we'll start to go a little bit longer with it, and pass into space. Distribute to flanks, and that'll do for now. If it comes to it, we'll go even more, counter-attacky and annoying, I guess, and time wasting. As you can see, they've had the better XG, so they've had the better quality of chances, but we've had the possession and more shots as a whole. I guess they've just had a solid defensive block that we haven't been able to really break through. Here's another highlight: Luis Enrique for Malero out to Simakan, and now Venancio over the top for Luis Enrique, who may be onside, may not be. It seems like he is though, because he's assisted Matthijs Tel, and it's 3-1. Matthijs Tel, of course, getting his customary goal. He couldn't possibly go the game without scoring. Good ball here by Venancio over the top for Luis Enrique, who is onside. I couldn't really tell. He then fires the ball across for Matthijs Tel, who's got across there, across his defender, in behind. Easy finish beyond Livakovic, and this second half has just exploded, hasn't it? We've had 4 goals in 35 minutes. Okay, that doesn't make it sound like it's exploded as much as I maybe made it out to, but I don't care. At the end of the day, that makes it a lot more comfortable. I don't think I'll go too much time wasting and things like that. Maybe if they score here or in the next couple of minutes, but I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, if we can get the 3 points, which it does seem like we will, I'm very happy with getting 3 points away at the 5th place side. Hopefully Real Madrid have dropped points. It looks like Camp Nou there is hosting a nice 3-1 win for Barcelona over Bilbao, which, look, they're another couple of points behind Real Madrid, so I'm not as concerned there. Hopefully Real Madrid haven't won, but at the end of the day, we've won, and that's what's important. We've got the 3 points away at Villarreal. Alright, so with that result, we have gone top. Real Madrid did draw away at Real Sociedad, so that does mean that we are now 2 points ahead of them with a game in hand. So we could go as much as 5 points ahead if we win our game in hand. Look, I would absolutely froth that. That would be sensational. If my goal would be to not have the next video, the last game of this season against Real Madrid, be a stressful one. I just want to chill, man. I just want to be relaxed. I want to not try and bring on the sweat that I will inevitably suffer through because I live in Brisbane, Australia, and there's no fan on, the windows closed, the doors closed, and look, I'm just exploding, basically. So I don't want to bring that out even further if I don't have to, you know what I mean? Anyway, that wraps up today's video, guys. Thank you very, very much for watching today. I do appreciate it. Let me know what you think about the series, whether you think we should, whatever you think we should do. Let me know what you reckon. I'd love to hear from you. And thank you for watching, basically, until we go again next time, maybe for the last time at Sevilla. Peace.